tragic coincidence tonight as two adorable girls, both named Haylee, are both missing in two separate cases. The two Hayleys are of similar age and come from similar backgrounds. Both little girls have become the center of national attention as their families and authorities desperately try to find them. First up, the frightening disappearance of the Ohio girl, Haylee Donovan. The adorable 4-year-old is believed to be on the run with her 24-year-old mom and her mom's sex offender boyfriend. Tonight, another shocking twist. The father of the young girl plus the child's convicted rapist uncle, are you following me? This is insane. Reportedly helped the mother's sex offender boyfriend escape from a halfway house and go on the lam with the little girl. What a kooky, sick family tree we got going here. Joining me again, my excellent panel. Mike Gaynor, former NYPD detective and president of East Coast Detectives. Stacey Honowitz, Florida prosecutor, and Dr. Dale Archer, clinical psychiatrist. Dr. Dale, you know, sometimes it seems like bad judgment just runs in the family. This family has a mom who takes off with a convicted felon, a brother who's a convicted rapist, and an ex who was the father of her child who lets the escapee from the halfway house into his home while they all have a confab, and then she takes off with the guy. It's enough to make your head explode.
Well, all you can say is everyone has a different definition of normal, so their normal would not be ours. But I mean, the bad judgment is just rampant throughout. And I think at some point there has to be some laws passed that would hold a mom complicit in a case like this for affiliating with a known sex offender.
Diane, Missouri. Okay, go ahead. Jump in.
No, I was just going to tell you, Jane, you know, in trying these cases and prosecuting these cases for over 20 years, these sex cases, you would not believe how many women come into our office, the wives of sex offenders, men who have confessed to fondling or having sex with the children, and they want the charges dropped. They want this person to come home and be with the child. And what's that all about? Nobody can understand it. They want a roof over their head. They're afraid if the person goes to jail, they're going to be evicted. They have no self-esteem. It's all the things that we've been talking about. But this isn't anything new. We're just hearing about it because they're out on the run. So all these stranger abductions that we've been talking about, this is even worse to an extent because it's the mother herself putting the child in danger.
I'll tell you what it is.
But there have to be some laws about that, just like there are in abuse cases where if you file the charges, automatically they're going to be followed. So I think that there have to be some laws along those same lines for this, because for this guy to only do 3 years after 2 counts is just shocking. There are no psychiatric treatments for this, but we know long-term prison works. So we have to give them long-term prison sentence.
Yeah, but you know what, Dale? The problem is, and you're 100% right,
this guy was a sex offender who hit 2 girls, 10 and 11. He got 3 years, Stacey.
But Jane, you have to understand something.
Shocking.
Listen, I'm a prosecutor. This is what I do. If you don't have, we don't know the circumstances. If the 10-year-old and the 11-year-old refuse to testify and you have nothing, you have no case. You are stuck as a prosecutor to give him something rather than nothing. So without knowing those circumstances, we don't know why he only got 3 years. It's horrible.
Is right.
You can't believe it, but that's what
mandatory
happens.
guideline, mandatory sentence of 10 years. I mean, minimum. There has to
Not
be
necessarily
something.
mandatory sentences. I don't think we can control those guidelines because Stacey alluded to a number of different reasons why these cases don't go forward. But the monitoring system, after these guys are released, that's something we can work on, and that's something that legislation should take care of as soon as possible.
Diane, Missouri, your question or thought? Diane, jump in there.
Okay. Jane, you're awesome.
Thank you.
I can't tell you on the phone and on the TV what I'd love to do to sex offenders.
Yeah, don't tell us, but I have an idea.
I'm going to be a decent woman. Okay, this is my comment. I think society should unite. I think we should do some kind of foster intervention. We know who lives in our communities. We know who's responsible, who's irresponsible. And those that are irresponsible, we need to be the eyes for these little children that cannot take care of themselves. We need to revamp, like your panel is saying, the laws against these people that have no soul, no conscience. And then also, we need to give grandparents more rights.
I think you're fantastic, Diane, from Missouri, but I would also like to say we need to start teaching people psychological tools to help them cope. This woman is clearly codependent, suffering from low self-esteem. These women who enable these people are literally addicted to the bad behavior in the other person. And I say that as a recovering alcoholic who has explored all this stuff. Codependency is serious, but they don't even know they have that because they've never learned it. If we taught some of this stuff in school, people would have
It's never
psychological...
going to happen. It's
Yeah,
never
no.
going to happen. The
Well,
schools,
I think that's
are
a
scared to
fantastic
death
idea.
to ever talk about this stuff, Jane. I'm telling you right now, I've been trying for years. The schools don't want to talk about it.
But
they don't
have
want
to.
I agree.
They
And
have
I
to
think
start
that's
talking.
yeah,
We need group therapy in schools so that people, when they're younger, can recognize their low self-esteem and find a way out of it.
because that's exactly what happened here. She had low self-esteem and she was looking for love, and this guy showed her attention.
Exactly, in all the wrong places. Mike, Stacey, thank you for your insights now to stunning revelations.